Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 120, and I'm hoping to finish the story of the 3 questions. The Emperor has now reconciled his differences with the man who wished to kill him. How fortunate the Emperor had the chance to save him and then have that conversation, and then make things right with him. But he still was wondering about his questions. So he went back to the hermit and found him in the garden, now sowing seeds in the beds that they had dug. The hermit stood up and looked at him. And he said to the emperor, "Why are you back? Your questions have been answered." The emperor looked at him somewhat quizzically. So the hermit went on. "You see, the most important thing that you could do with your time that day was to help me with my garden. If you had not taken compassion on me and helped me dig my garden, you would have left and gone down the hill, and that man, he would have murdered you, and you never would have had the chance to be reconciled with him. So the most important time was the time that you were helping to dig my garden bed. The most important person was, of course, me. And the most important task was to work in my garden. Following that, the most important thing you could do with your time was to work on that man's wound. If you had not done so, he would have died, and you never would have been reconciled with him. Of course, the most important person at that point was him, that man, who would have been your murderer. And the most important task was tending his wound. All we have is now. Now is the most important moment. It's the only moment. It's the only moment that we can have any control over. The most important person is that person that is standing right in front of you. And the most important task is whatever it is that you are doing in that moment. Focus on it with all of your attention. And with that, the emperor bowed and thanked that man for his words of wisdom and left with a heart that was more content and full than it had been. Forever after, he remembered that the most important thing to do at any point in time was what you were doing. The most important person was whoever it is you were with. And the most important thing to do was be present in the moment fully. And that's the story of the 3 questions. Okay, hope you enjoyed.